Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome to the stream, and sorry if the started a few minutes late. And again, just wanted to say hi to everybody tonight. We are doing our stream for some deck ideas for our Earth event here. So I'm just curious how everybody's doing, and are you enjoying the event? And we're gonna talk about the cards as well as the quests themselves. This is the second time we have a quest, and so we definitely, I definitely do want to talk about that a little bit. And just saying hi to the stream here. So I see Hans, you did ask me for some help, and you're going to be going in a few minutes. So I will definitely get to you as well. So if you can't watch it live, then you can catch it a little bit later. And what I wanted to do actually is, I'm going to show you a couple of teams as well that I have sort of built. I haven't really played it, but we can, give some ideas there. Now, to be honest, I don't have the cards this time. I don't really have the cards that that I was hoping to get. So if you see, I only have the support card from this event, and I don't have any of the other cards. I hope you got better luck than I did. And this is kind of the topic I wanted to touch on as well, in terms of what I think about the quests and the collections and how they are doing. And just saying hi to everybody here. So we got Duppy and Alan, Ethan, and Nano, Debbie, Alyssa, Johnny Tables, and Nano. Yes, I see it. And by Stoneheart, welcome to the stream. Thanks, guys. I know it's a Slayer event, and it's usually tougher to take the time away to watch a stream, so I appreciate you stopping by. And so I do have one person that did a request for help, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something a little bit different. So bear with me for a second here. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this a little bit better, but this is so let's try this for a second. Let's see, maybe here, and I would say person I'm going to take a look at is Hunsk, right? And what I'm going to do is say, put this right here and change the color to black so it shows up. There you go. All right, so this way I can kind of keep track of who I'm looking at, and also just who I might need to go talk to next. And I think the next person I'm going to look at is going to be Duppy. So Duppy, this way I think everybody can also sort of see who I am looking at next. And like I said, I'm going to try to get through as many people as I can. I usually always try to do that. But if I don't, just always know that you can reach out to me, and we can, I'll be happy to talk to you as well. And so let's go to the next one. Sar Einer of Ren. All right, we'll start with this 4. And I think this is a good list to begin with. And what do you guys think? I think this actually helps a lot, just, being able to have this extra, real estate on the screen, so we can take a look and see, you can see the cards, and we can see the sort of, who I'm actually looking at. So let's begin by taking a look at, I guess we'll start with the cards, since I do want to make sure we get into it right away. And then I'm going to talk about the event, and also just we'll probably play a couple of bosses. I'm going to give my thoughts on what we can do to be successful there. And so let's go with Hunsk. Did I spell it wrong? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Let's take a look here. It is... Oh, my mistake. I put in your YouTube name rather than your actual in-game name. All right, so as I'm looking to it, just kind of taking a look at everybody's comments here. And I think that, there are questions on how do we do this? So somebody said the stacking cards. I think you might be talking about the cards that uses the Grail. I definitely have a team I'm going to show here. And I think this is the second deck, the last deck that you're talking about. And so, you have two satyrs, that's good, and you have Alfonso. So one of the challenges I find with Alfonso is that you have to save one of your Power Gen 4s, and then you have to get hit. Once I do have the cards, I can show you how that works as well. And I noticed that you don't have the relic right now, so the event relic just came out, and I think getting the event relic there, since you're also using support card, is going to help. But let's take a look at your other cards just to see if we can change anything up. Now, I would think that you wouldn't want to take out the Satyr Roots for sure, because those are the cards that are going to give you predominantly the damage there. And I think you are also looking to build your skill, a battle skill. So you want to be able to activate this on turn 2, and so you do need 2 support cards, unless you get the 3rd relic. So if you have 3 Earth Slayer relics, then you just need to have 1 support, and then you can bring another card in there, if that makes sense. And so just kind of looking around here, I do agree with what you've set up there. I'm just thinking in terms of damage, I think that you're going to get slightly better damage with your Agaricus, although he doesn't quite create as many gems. I'm just trying to think how many Diona creates. And so Diona actually will only spawn, okay. And so I think what you could do is probably keep the Rudolph, and you can choose between Evergreen Evelyn or Agaricus. So let's go back to your team here. What you've got is Rudolph. Okay. So you got Rudolph, and then you got your Alfonso plus your support card here and 2 Satyr Roots. I think that's actually really good. Now, I don't think you need to heal necessarily. I think what you want to focus on is actually as much damage as you can. So I would take out this relic here, and then I would put in your third relic for the Earth Slayer, and then you should see improved damage overall. So that's what I would go with. All right. So hopefully that helps, and have fun at work, and thanks for joining me for the stream, and I'll catch you next time. All right. So let's take a look at Duppy here. I think there is more, but I'm gonna start with this list, and once I finish up this list, then I'm gonna go and talk about the cards, and then I'll build up the next list, and we can go back and talk about your decks and whatnot. So I think we can help get organized a little bit this way. All right. So let's take a look at Duppy Conqueror, and let's see what you got going on. Well, I see you have the event card and you have the support card. So I think, Earth Slayer is interesting. It's really, if you don't have Alfonso, then you really, and if you don't have the Master Collection card from the last time, then there's really not a whole lot of choices in terms of building up the power gem. It really is quite interesting, just because, it's unfortunate really that there's not that many cards that we can choose from. And so right now what I'm looking at is, very similar sort of set of cards that we're talking about here, except you have Coyote the Swift, and that is going to be probably your main damage dealer at this point, where you want to, get your damage as high as you can, and then you'll do the nuke damage. And so I see you have Blade of Branches, but he's a 5-star. So Blade of Branches will create power gems, and you also have Jade Protector, as well as Master Wu. And so I think the issue that I see here is that you have Sand Charmer. So you have pretty decent Generation 2 cards. It's just that you need to find one that will actually help you for this particular event. And so let me just take a look here. So I think Sand Charmer Ulfra will be good if you have the Haroon to go with it. I don't think I saw Haroon in here, because this will basically create additional intensity for Mystic. And given what I'm seeing right now, all right, so then I think what we need to, I don't see him. So I think we need to take a look and see how we can give you a team that has decent number of power gems and also just gems across the board. Kazaria will create 2 power gem 4s, and I think create power gem 3s, and then 5 stars is 2. So you have a couple of them that can create a few, and you have Adoring Angel. Again, you have these cards at 5 stars. So if you can get them to 6 stars, you'll get a lot more. I actually wanted the Adoring Angel, just because what she'll do is she will convert all of your heart gems into Earth Gem, and then it'll create a power gem based on the number of hearts that you that it actually converted. So you have options here. It's just a matter of combining them all. And so what I would say right now, just looking at where you got, basically you have all of these support cards that will create regular gems and nothing that will spawn a power gem. You might, and you're going to probably struggle with going for a quick deck, a quick damage. And so I think you need to rely on your relics. So make sure that you have, at least the 3 Slayer relics in here. And potentially, I think, you could possibly put in either Bladed Branches if you have the gear for it, though. If you have any Demigod relics, let's take a look and see if you have any Demigod relics. So you have 1 Demigod relic, so that's not really going to help there. So let's take a look. If this is your setup here, then I would just say, keep this where it's at, but switch out switch out the Cobrialty, the Swift, or however you say it. This card will not give you a damage boost. So this card will only work in Guild versus Guild if you take a look in the back. So this card isn't going to help. So if you're using this team as it is right now, you'll notice that your damage is really low. So just swap it out for any of the support cards. Like, support card from this event is going to be better. Yeah, it's just that I think, unfortunately, you just don't quite have the cards here. And in this case, I would actually see if you have other Slayer decks that would do better. So you want to stay away from Fire because you're going up against a Earth team. And you have Bio Blitzer, and you've got... Do you have the other cards that will help power it up? I'm looking for either Hell or... Soul Reaper, and I don't see it. Yeah, this is the case where I think you might want to look at some of the other affinity in order to get the damage that you're looking for. And I'm seeing light, and then you have, let's see here. So you've got Dasha. Okay. And your best bet probably will be, let's see. So I'm looking at, okay. I think your best bet is probably just going to be the team that you have there. I would just swap out the order in which you had it, and you might actually put in the Dame Ragnell here just because she can create power gems. And let's see, another option, I'll show you how you can use the Gallant Sir Gawain deck. That's going to be another option for you. So I think that would be the one that I would recommend. So take a look at my team 3, and that's the one where you might actually need to go with that approach. It's going to be really, really slow. And so, unfortunately, I can't really help you, get the kind of damage you're looking for, but I think you might be able to do okay if we go with that approach there. So so stay tuned. We'll take a look there. So let's take a look at NA. Did I actually get this right? Yeah, so XNA. Yeah, sorry for it took a little bit longer there because I was really trying to sort of figure out what to do with the cards there. Like Earth is also one of my weaker points, and so I'm not even actually using Earth mostly, but we can try and work on this together, figure out something there. All right, so let's take a look at your Earth cards. And that's really sort of, I guess the thing here. If you don't have the cards that can generate power gems, then it really does become really difficult. And so that is, I kind of felt like the collection this time, the support, the collection you can get for the runes, they aren't that great. I wish that they had a ultra rare that could have done better in terms of, I really wish that they had, brought back the starter deck for the Satyr, just once more give the people a chance to build something really nice. That's kind of my hope there. All right, so let's see what you've got going on. And in terms of Slayer cards, I see. So yeah, I see you have the same thing as me too. You've got a support card. So you got Erectes. Erectes is a card that creates power gems, and it's actually a creature card. And I think if you had the ultra rare card, it actually will create additional damage increase. And so Erictes actually does this, right? Erictes will actually increase the creature hero attack by 55% and 3% for every 20 intensity. So I think adding this guy in there would be good. A Testera will help increase the intensity and also will give you some heal. And so this is going to be a team that you can use for bigger bosses. If you can lock it, you could probably use these two combination along with your basically use your support cards to then get the gems spawned there so that you could add so you can have 3 power gem force there. You might consider also adding in your Sky Swarm Kachina. You actually have better commander cards than you do Slayer cards. So you could actually do maybe a Sky Swarm Kachina, a copy of Armor Erictes, and maybe the Testera, depending on whether or not you need the intensity, and then use your support card, maybe 2 support cards so you can do gem spawns. I think that would actually be a pretty good option for you because given the lack of power gem spawners from the Slayer's perspective, grabbing it from the commander deck might not be a bad idea. So give that a try and see how that works. I don't have Erictes, so I can't try, but you are giving additional boost. This is where if you had multiple copies of Erictes, that would really actually help you deal damage against the bosses. And you also have Sniping Falconer. That's another option if you want to go with that route with a Corrupt instead. But I think using Creature this time will help because you can actually boost your current support card as well. So I think that's a better choice there. All right, so moving on, I'm just gonna take a look at Sar Einer of Ren. And just make sure I also pay attention to the comments section. So thanks for bearing with me, guys. And let's see, is there a particular deck that you are using? So you have Voltrion, so you have the event card, and you have the sniping Falconer create power gen force. Yeah, so then I think that is good. And it has a 2-turn delay. This looks like a really good team right here, actually. So you're using a commander card that gives you power gems, and it has a 2-turn cooldown so that you can use this every 2 turns. So that you can basically be in sync with Voltrion, because Voltrion is also a card that has 2-turn cooldown. So the only card that has a 3-turn delay is going to be the Satyr, which has, I think, a 3-turn cooldown. Yeah, so then I think that this deck looks good. I'm not sure if you have any troubles with it, because this looks pretty solid to me. With these 3, basically you've got 2 nukes, and you might consider swapping out if you find that you're having a hard time with just the overall damage. Getting another card that can give you even more power gems on the board is going to give you a little bit more damage overall. So the only thing I would consider thinking about is whether or not taking this card out and putting in another card would help. But it's up to you. I think that you might see no real difference because you do get 2 power gem ones, and I think, let's see, the support card here does create 6 power gem ones, 6 regular power gems, 8 power gems, 8 earth gems. So you actually might not need to do that. In terms of the order of activation, then I would say activate your activate Voltrion and then the event card, and then activate your support card. So activate these 3 cards, and then go ahead and activate Satyr. Finally activate Falconer last. So basically get all of your power gems created and all of your gems created, and then get them all destroyed so they can be on the bottom of the board, so that you can get a better match that matches all the gems, so you can deal better damage. So give that a try and let me know how that works. All right, so what I want to do is I want to take a few minutes and I want to talk about sort of like where I'm at right now, and we can sort of play the deck a little bit, because I think there was a question that asked, how do you actually activate the cards, and how can you play with a stack card? So I'm going to show that as well. So the question that, and I'm going to make sure I clean this up as well. So I think the next person, and I'm just take this chance to say hi to everybody as well. And so we've got Alan Higgins and Chaos, and also Marita, Ghost, Damien, and Khalid. welcome to the stream, and Robin Forst, Ben Rutherford. So let's go ahead and get some more names in here. So let's see. I think the name I see is Nasdoromu, right? Nasdoromu. And then the next person is, let's go ahead and take a look. All right. Please have a trophy gift. Let's see. Princess Starflame. And by the way, I in the last stream I asked people if you which affinity you think I should go with for my sort of character card, and most of you actually came back with fire, which is sort of what I would go with anyway as well. So that's sort of my personal preference, and so I decided to go with fire. So thanks a lot for your input, guys. Hope you guys liked it. It was a yeah, I just trying to play around with the names and whatnot. So I'm having fun with it. And let's see. So White Dragon DK. And then the next one, I'm going to do 4 at a time, I think. And then Doug Carafini with no spaces. All right, so we got this set up, and then we will get to you very soon. So let's take a look. So there's a couple questions. One is how to use the stack cards, and also how do you activate the deck. Now, given I don't have the event deck, I'm going to talk to you about how you can actually activate a similar deck. So if you have the full deck, then what you always want to do is you just, depends on what you have. If you have, basically 2 satyrs where, a combination of satyr plus your event card and ultimate form and, that sort of combination, you activate your Master Collection card and your ultimate form first to get your 4 Power Gem 4s, and then activate everything else. It's always always Power Gem spawners first, followed by everything else, okay? And if you are using a support card, that card will always be spawned last. So that is always going to be sort of the rule of thumb here. And so with my quest right now, let's see, I actually have something to collect, it looks like. So let's see. Because I got a relic, so I got a event relic, so I can earn 160 points here. But you can sort of see it is super grindy. Right, yesterday it just felt really, really tough to get what I needed. So right now I am at day 2. So in terms of the solo bosses, I'm on tier 2 of 3. I have 202 bosses killed so far, and I am at tier 3 for guild bosses. I couldn't play much today, so I'm just I'm gonna get started after the stream here. And ultimate, I only managed to get 2. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get 80. I might be able to get 10. I think I should be able to get 10, no problem, but 80 is gonna be a bit of a stretch for me. And I actually have a harder time getting the common bosses. So the commons are the bosses that have the wooden crates, and then you have the bronze and silver bosses. Those actually are very rare compared to all the other bosses. And so this one, I'm sort of, I'm 29 to 30 for the last day. All right, so I'm just kind of waiting for that. But the thing is, all of these guild bosses go towards your solo boss scores as well. So take advantage of that. And then finally, I did manage to get, about 132, but, I might be able to get to tier 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the last one, 1400 Emerald, Cobalt, or Radiant bosses. Not sure about that. In terms of the rewards, I ended up getting 2 Master Collection cards, runes so far. So I've got 3, and they're all unique. If I wanted to, I could actually craft all 3 missing runes, but I don't have anything for the ultra rare yet. So I'm waiting to see what my ultra rare rune looks like. I'm going to kind of show you. And then after this, I'm going to talk about sort of my team 2 or 3, where I use Sir Gawain to sort of show you how that works. And so let's take a look. I think, in terms of collection, I'm just going to show you where it's at. So I've got 3 of the runes here, and I can craft 3 if I wanted to, although I don't think I can actually. 6. No, I'm actually short. I need 1 more rune. I need one more rune before I could craft it. And then the ultra rare, I just got 2 of the 6 right now, although I think I can craft 1 at least, almost 2. So keeping my fingers crossed for that. All right, so let's go into a fight here, and I think what I'm gonna do is let's go ahead and pick Keta. And so what I'm going to show you is a team that I tried, and this is going to be team number 2. And so this team actually uses just 1 support card, or one event card and a Master Collection card that is Alfonso, but you don't really need Alfonso. But if you have Alfonso, a lot of people kind of have him. I'm going to talk to you also a little bit about the ordering in which you should consider doing a fight. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a fight. And right after this, I'm going to go and take a look at Nostromo, Princess Starflame, White Dragon DK, and Doug Carafini. I'm going to look at your cards right after this. So bear with me here. Appreciate the patience. So with this particular deck, right, I'm using 2 support, and this card is still going to be super useful in the next commander event. So just it's always good idea to just kind of practice a little bit. So the thing with this is, with the 2 support cards, you're not actually doubling the number of power gems that you're going to create. It's just that you are adding to the grail, so you can see the number going up. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you actually always match at least 6 gems afterwards. So every 2 turns, you're going to be able to add to the total number of grail. The maximum number is 15, and every time you use the 2 support cards, you're going to be able to add 4 to it. And so, my Guildmate might actually kill it. So I'm going to try and see if I can get this as quick as possible. Or let's say we don't, right? So basically, I'm going to create 8 power gems because I think my Guildmate might actually kill it. So you want to time it so that right now there is 2 more turns before the boss, before Keto will hit. So I'm going to wait 1 turn, and then I'm going to activate. Yeah, and I would have activated. I would have activated my Master Collection card, and then that would have generated a couple of gems, and then I would get hit. More power gems would have been spawned, and then that would have helped. So I need to lock a boss or something. It's really hard to be able to show you how to play a deck when my guildmates are going off killing all the bosses. So let's just go and talk about your cards then. We'll just wait a little bit. All right, so now Stormo, let's get you're up. Okay, let's see. If this is the event card, then I think Dane creates 4, right? I wished I had gotten this card. I was actually trying to get her. Yeah, so you're already set right there, so you don't actually need the Master Collection card here, and then you have the support. I think this is where, if you got the event card, so if you have already a card that creates 4 Power Gem Force, and you've got Cedar Root, the event card may not actually be a bad idea to get. So the reason I say that is because he also deals a nuke damage. Like he deals 2.5 times the damage if you use 3 keys, and it's not bad. It really isn't, given the sort of, you get a 10 times damage boost as well. You're going to be able to deal that much more damage. Like it's going to be better than having a Diona in here, for example. And I think, this is just my opinion, but if you're able to get him and you want to actually invest in it, it wouldn't be a bad choice. But again, if you don't already have the card and you're not going to invest anymore, then that's totally fine as well. So let's take a look at and see in terms of the Slayer cards if there's anything else that might consider. So you've got two Rabadillo here, and I think you should actually. I think maybe because you're putting her in there so that you can take advantage of the power gem, I would assume. So what I'm thinking is, if you put 2 of your support cards in here, so let's say Satyr will create 12 power gems plus 4 for the Master Collection cards. That's 16 power gems, and then Evelyn creates 4. That's 28. Yeah, I suppose that's okay. I guess you don't need to have the second copy of Rebadillo. I was just kind of thinking, like, is it necessary for you to create more gems on the board so that you can fill it out? But I think this is actually not a bad team you've got already. So I'm not sure if I would actually change anything based on what I'm seeing. I definitely think that, yeah, I would go with that. So I would keep that deck. And in terms of activation, I think you already know. Just activate everything, and then you use Dane first, and then Satyr, followed by Evergreen, and then Diona, and then Hunting Rebadillo, and then swap everything and watch it all burn. All right, the next person is going to be White Dragon DK. White Dragon DK. Let's see, and just want to catch up on the questions too. I think there's any questions there. Do I know the order event deck that should be activated? So that be honest, I think I answered that question already. And let's see. And Dr. Rini, first deck you've invested this into the fire deck. Yeah, this is gonna be a good deck to invest in. So Michael Steinmetz, are your Green Dream team deck set up the best way? I'm not sure because I don't know if you've put your name down, so I don't actually know your in-game name. So we'll have to take a look later. All right, and so let's see what you got. Fire team, first team, blue Miss Piggy, green World. This is going to be a support, a commander deck, and test deck Pinocchio. This is the green team. Okay. So basically, the full team here without the need for any satyrs. Let's take a look now. In general, like I'm not sure. Like if you already have a full team, let me know if it's more about like the way you should play it, or what cards you need to add in there. But in general, if you have a full team, then I would expect that you should be able to do pretty well already. And so I see also you've already got a couple of copies of the ultra rare card, and you got also the hunting Rabadillo here. And so let's take a look at the card. So you have Satyr at 5-star. I guess if you had it at 6-star, that would actually help out a little bit more, just because you're going to be able to get more power gems that way. With this particular setup, I see, so you've got 2 power gems, and then you got, so I think the ultra rare card creates power gem 2s, creates 3 power gem 2s. So you've got 3, 6, 8, and then you've got, I think another 2 here. So you got 10 total, and then you've got 8 gems. So you got 18 gems here. So this is where I think the question would be whether or not it's sufficient. I would imagine with this particular setup right here, everything should be a turn 2 kill easily. If you're thinking about whether or not, if you're doing this for ultimate bosses, then you need heal, and that is where Rabadillo comes in handy. Although I think he has a long cooldown at 6 turns, and so although you might be able to get a full heal. So this is the tough one for me, just because I'm used to using Satyr as part of the deck here. So the only thing I would say is, will it be more beneficial for you to swap out your ultra rare for Satyr route? Not sure, but as it is, this is a pretty good team already. I can't imagine there being any reason not to use that. So I'm just gonna move on to other players now and take a look at Doug Carafini. And let's see. So let's see what you got working with here. Slayer deck. And Matt Alexander, thanks a lot. Yeah, this is just something I'm trying for a second time, and hopefully this is, hopefully you guys like it. I know that it's gonna be hard for you to watch, in a vertical way, but I tried watching it on my phone, in a landscape mode, and it didn't seem too bad. So the other videos where I'm going to do not streams, I'm going to probably continue to do vertical. So we can take a look and see if that works out. And so let's see. So Doug Carfini, you spent a lot of gems, and you only got the relics on the guaranteed tier. That is really bad. So sorry. Oh, and 8 duplicate ultra rare runes. Yeah, that really is unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. And let's see. Let's see if there's any other questions. So you got 2 earth gems. Which cards are best to awaken in this event? So if you have the Master Collection card, let's take a look at your cards first. So you've got the Hardwood Gorilla. This is the one I would go ahead and use to awaken. I used my Dark Wisps to awaken my Freedom Fighters, and I would recommend you do the same as well. Because keep in mind, the thing about Slayer decks compared to, just gonna drink some water here. The thing with Slayer decks compared to to Commander decks is you want to have cards deal their own damage because they boost themselves. And so something like a the hard-won Gorilla, you're also going to be dealing 5 times the nuke damage, right? And so it is in your best interest to get this card to deal as much damage as possible compared to any other card. Like if your other cards don't deal a lot of damage, that's okay. As long as you can boost this card as high as possible through Awakening, you're going to deal that much more damage, and it's going to really eclipse a lot of your other cards in that sense. And so I would put all of your wisps in this card if you have the cards to power up and to, like, you've already got Satyr Root here, and so you're set, right? So that's what I would recommend. Do that so that you'll see the damage go up every time you awaken. It's 20% increase, and if you think about it, that 20% is going to be multiplied by 5 times when it comes out as a nuke damage. So it's pretty significant. And so I think based on that, I would imagine that you're already running with a full team and a Satyr. That's my guess, just based on what I see in your collection here. And so, and you've got two Master Collection card, Ultra Rare, and the Ultimate Form plus Satyr. Yeah, so just do what I said. Awaken your Freedom Fighter as high as possible. Get as much damage there as you can, and you're going to be good to go. All right, so so far it looks like you guys don't really need a lot of help. just taking a look at the cards here, and so let's see. So Ronald Burt, your deck is working on with 2-star Ultimate Form, 2 MCs. You are okay. Yeah, so that's good. I don't think you need my help there. And Judge of All, nice to see you in the stream here. Lee Smith, hello, thank you. And Crazy Callie, let's take a look. Crazy Callie. And I'm gonna add a little bit more and see if there's any more. Jeffrey Lee, the game's awesome. Yeah, there is definitely a lot of goodness to the game. I think a lot of people enjoy this. So Tamara Figueroa could use the team as Bareness Ismita Drift. Okay. Bareness Ismita Drift. Probably just do this there so I don't miss that. And put one more name in there. Yuck Green, Judge of All. All right, let's take a look. Judge of All, and I think Alan Higgins, I missed you on your notepad, so I probably did. Let me go back and take a look at your team name. Princess Starflame. Oh, I did, didn't I? Princess Starflame. My apologies. Okay, I'm gonna go into that right now. So let's take a look at Princess Starflame. Princess Starflame. And let's see, and I think I saw something down here for a question. So the Duck Carafini, questions about the deck. Which card is the best to use the 2 Earth Wisps? Oh yeah, I think I already mentioned the Wisps Ultimate Form, definitely Ultimate Form. And you make sure 4 Earth support cards on a Master card. It might give folks a few ideas. Okay, Jim Paulson, I'll take a look at your cards afterwards. All right, so Princess Starflame. Let's see what you've got, and let's see what we can do to help you out if possible. Actually, before I do that, let's take a look at what you've built. I think that might actually be better to take a look at what you've built, a T-Bone Green Team. So that, let's take a look at what you've built, and then I can see if there's anything that I might add to it. So you've got Theona, and you've got the Agaricus, Hunting Rabadillo, and Alfonso. And then you've got Masao as the card here, I guess, to create a couple of power gems. So that's the one I'm going to take a look and see if there is maybe a different option there. But since you already put in there, I'm going to assume that you probably don't have Sky Swarm Kachina. But let's see. And this is the case where, is it better for you to put in a commander card that creates 4 power gems and in favor of something else? So let's see. So I think looking here, you've got Haroon the Shrewd. You might actually do better putting this card in instead of your commander card, because I think I know why you did that, so you can put in the commander relic, and I understand that. But if you have the Mystic relic, it's a commander 2. It's a power gem 2. It's not going to be too much different. So here's the thing, right? 4 power gem 1s versus 2 power gem 2, because you're going to get, I think, actually 1. Is this just 1? So this will create 1 plus 1 for every 100 stacks. Unfortunately, only create 1. So 4 power gem 1 versus 1 power gem 4. I guess this one is going to be a little bit of a toss-up there. But if you have another card that can generate 2 copies of power gem 2s or 3s, that's actually going to be better. And I see Jade Tail, and I think Jade Tail creates power gem 2s, and it's also a creature. And so this card will actually create 1 and it'll create 2 Power Gem 3s. You might actually do better putting a J-Tail rather than your event card there, Masao, because you get a bit more Power Gems there. So let me just take a look and see the rest of your collection here, and we'll go back and confirm if my suspicion is correct. So I don't want to just tell you the wrong thing. So Masao is also a God card, so I don't know if you're using the God Relic. Yeah, so this one will create 4 Power Gem 1s, and you're currently using, you're using one, so you're using 1 God Relic, so I can see that's where you're going to get your Power Gems. But if you have a creature relic, you can put in there as well, and I think you're actually going to do a little bit better because it's 2 Power Gem 3s rather than 4 Power Gem 1s. And that actually makes a difference because of the multiplier there. So that would be the only suggestion I would make, and give that a try. You also get a little bit more health this way because all of your Slayers are boosted and your skill points are going to be increased for Alfonso. That's the other thing here is Alfonso needs 25, it needs 25 skill point. And so with 3 Slayer Relic and 1 support card, but only 4 Slayers total, you are actually going to be wasting turns. So put in a Slayer card, but J-Tail is not a Slayer card. So this is where I would say, pick and choose. I would say, if you're going to stick with a commander card, use J-Tail. And if you want to use a Slayer card, then I would say go with Haroon. It might actually help you a little bit. Let me just double check and make sure that J-Tail is indeed... No, J-Tail is actually a Slayer card now. So both Commander and Slayer. So I take it back. Put in J-Tail in so that you can get your Power Gems and deal more damage there. Crazy Callie, you're up next. Let's take a look at your cards. And while I'm here, just kind of curious. I skipped Star? I just saw Debbie Moss's comment here, so I just finished that. So the question I have here is, what do you guys think about the Thursday streams? Anything that you would like me to do a little bit differently? Right now, I think mostly I'm focused on taking a look at your cards, and I'm not really playing my decks as much as I guess I would have liked. But if it's not something that you feel necessary, then that's totally okay with me. Just give me your thoughts and your ideas, suggestions for how this could work better for you. If you feel that this is good, then I'm happy to keep going like this. All right, and hopefully this format makes it a little bit easier for you to sort of see what's going on as well. And so let's see how we're just let me know, and I'm always looking to improve. So I saw a good commander deck there. Let's see if you've got a Slayer deck here. So that's for Trials event. I would assume this is the one. Okay. So you've got Sweet Steel Hanso in here, and you've got Dame Ragnell for 4 Power Gen 4s, and then you've got Diona and Hunting Rabadillo. Now you're using Dojin. So that is an interesting choice. I wonder if there is other cards that you might be able to use. In general, legend cards, if they're not ascended, it's not as helpful as it could be. And so I just wanted to take a look to see if there's a better option for you to put in here. And so you got Valiant Vanguard, and that is actually a pretty good card to have because Valiant Vanguard will add 4 to the Grail. And so what it will do is you can actually, get this pretty quickly to get some additional power gems. So if you're looking for power gem spawn and you don't need it to be a really quick deck, I would consider putting Valiant and Vanguard in there instead of Dojin, just so that you can get some of these power gems going so you can really deal a lot of damage. And so let's see. You've got Sky Swarm's Kachina, and so let's take a look at your Slayer cards first. You got really good commander cards actually, so I'm pretty impressed with that. And so yeah, I see you got the Hunting Rabadillo. So yeah, I like the choice that you've made there. But instead of Dojin, I really think that you would be better off putting in another card that can give you a power gem, a couple of power gems, or a more gems there. And so in this case, I would swap Dojin out, and all of these cards are okay for you to use. So we can go back again, take a look. Putting another Rudolph. Rudolph also creates 6 Earth Gems, so that's going to be a good option. I don't like using Tatiana as much, just because I don't like her battle skill very much. J-Tail is potentially an option, and like I said, you might actually consider putting in, Valiant Vanguard or Sky Swarm Kachina for a quick additional 4 power gems. I mean, you got Sky Swarm and Dame Ragnell, that's 8 power gem force right there. And then if you add, the power Earth gems from Rudolph and from Hunting Rebadillo, you might actually also add in Kokopelli, who also creates a bunch of Earth gems. The whole point is to just, get your power gem spawns and get a bunch of Earth gems to fill the board, and then you'll be able to deal better damage quicker that way. The goal is to deal your damage in turn 2 or turn 3, and so that's what I would recommend. All right. So Baroness, Ismina, Drift. Let's see what you are using. So you have Alpha. Do you have the Beta? Oh, you don't. Alpha Knights. MV Minis. All right. I'm gonna assume that this is probably the deck here, because I see you have a Satyr and you've got a Sky Swarm, Kachina, and Rudolph, as well as Hunting Rebadillo. An interesting choice. You're also using Reforged Ilya. So I don't remember what she does. So Reforged Ilya will spawn 2 owner affinity gem for 3 turns, including this one. So what an owner affinity means is whatever the leader is. So in this case, it will actually spawn Earth gems, but it spawns 2 Earth gems for 3 turns straight. So while that is actually a pretty good one, and it's a Generation 3 card, I'm curious if there's another card that might actually be useful for you. So let's just take a look. So let's see. So I actually am using Reforged Wukong in some of my teams instead of, just because I wanted to see how the nuke damage would do there. So okay, and so I see you got Hunting Rebadillo, Rudolph Nightstar, Diona. Yeah, I actually like the choice of a Reforged Ilya better here compared to Diona. I really don't like her as a card as much. I generally like support cards, but not this one. And here you have Sky Swarm Kachina. So here's my recommendation. Since you're not using Alfonso, like you don't actually care about the Slayer points, I would actually just swap out Ilya for Sky Swarm Kachina. With additional 4 power gems on the board, you're going. Oh, wait a second. I'm blind. You already have him. So let's take a look again and see if there is another option there. I kind of went into my spiel, and you've already done that, so I don't need to say anything. So you have Armor Erectes, although it's really slow at 6 turns, and you've got Oprah, which actually I used to use her quite a bit, but not as much now. So I think you might benefit more from getting a additional. So you can use Undying Green Knight for the 4 power gen ones, or Masao, same idea, or you can use Kokopelli for some good heal and that 6 regular gems to boost up your total damage there. So 8 Earth gems. So you're gonna get 8 instead of 6. I think that will actually do a little bit better compared to Ilya. So give that a try and let me know how that works out. So lastly, but not least, Judge of All. Let's take a look at your cards here. And I know that I've probably missed a bunch of people, so if there's questions that I can answer in the chat here, let me know. And depending on the time, I might be able to go through 1 or 2 more. So let's see here. Help others, told region. So you see a lot of dark here. Yuck Green. I think that's the deck you use. So you've got Abarca, which is the one Master Collection card I actually tried hard for and I didn't get. And you got Satyr Root, so it's basically kind of like what I would do with Hell and Soul Reaper. You got Hunting Rebadillo, and you got Sky Swarms Kachina. This looks good. And looking at your relics, I would, So you have a 5-star Dojin Axe here. I almost wonder if it would have been better to put in another Earth Slayer relic. So let's see if you have Earth Slayer relics here. Slayer. Yeah, I think in this case, it might actually be better if you just go ahead and put in your Slayer relics in here because you've got the whole thing is you want your event card to deal good nuke damage. So the more you can boost him up, the better. So give that a try and see if swapping out the relics might actually be what I would recommend here. All right. And so, Doug Carafini, you have a question here. Do I recommend trying another UR tier to try UR 2 stars? So I would no comment on whether or not I would recommend you to try for another ultra rare tier, just because it's basically, if you don't get it, it's just a lot of gems that you need to spend. I think using wisps, at 1 star it should be good enough, but like obviously every star that you can go up to, you're going to get that much more damage boost. It's just that for me, I feel like, well, you already have wisps, and it's going to be a better option for you, cheaper anyways, to actually get the damage boost. So if you want to go for it, I wouldn't say you shouldn't, because you're definitely going to get more damage there, but it wouldn't be my first recommendation in general for how you can get more damage there. And so I think the question, I think that this person, sorry, let me take a look. I do want to go, Jim Paulson, I want to go into your deck here. So it's Dark Arcane X. Dark Arcane X with no space. And let's see if there's anyone else. B like Billy P, hello. Just saw your name show up here. And John Tran, you like the new card? Your favorite? Fire, great. And Earth Slayer deck. Okay, so I think this is gonna be it. And so let's see. Dark Arcane X. And Rose, thank you for watching. And let's see here. Use all Slayer relics. Judge of all, yeah, I would give it a try, because what you want to do is you want to use the relics to boost your Slayer card, in this case your event card, and you will see an increase in the damage overall. And if you don't, then switch it back, right? I don't think there's any harm, but play around with the relics and see that helps. So let's see, which deck do we want to be using here? Earth Slayer, I'm assuming. So you got Dame Ragnell, and you got 2 Hunting Rabadilla, and you got the Green Knight and Diona. So let's see if there is, like, if you're going to be using Diona, I would actually just, recommend using Rudolph instead. So if you use Rudolph, you can actually use the Chakram, and Chakram will actually, give you a revive if you had it enchanted as well. So let's see in terms of the cards here. Yep. So I see. Yeah, I would swap out Diona for Rudolph, and then you already have the Chakram here, although it doesn't give you a revive, but you can use Rudolph to power up the Chakram. Another option would be to replace the Green Knight with Rudolph, but I wouldn't recommend that. I would keep the Green Knight here. I would keep Dame Ragnell, and I would put in, or maybe Kokopelli is another option if you really wanted to, but I think keeping a few of your Slayers is going to be a better choice. And this way you have 2 support cards that already generate 16 Earth Gems. You're going to have no problem filling up the board. So that'll be the only recommendation from me based on what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I think that would be a good, that'll be the only thing I would suggest, just to take that out. And the other deck that you're using, Gawain, oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the Slayer deck. So there's another deck that you're using that uses a challenge deck. It's the other deck using Gawain, Rabadilla, and Ragnell. This one? Okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you have a question on how to play this deck or what I think about it. So I already mentioned before too, like using 2 Galleon Gawain is a pretty good way to get a lot of power gems, especially if you aren't looking to If you aren't looking to do this really fast, the only recommendation I have here is you should use your hunting Rebadilla as a leader, because you're not getting the Slayer bonus already from your commander cards, and you're losing out on your Slayer, sort of the leader bonus for your actual Slayer cards. So even though you only have 2 of them, I would put in the support card as the leader so that you can get more damage output from your support card. You're going to see a huge difference in your damage output just by swapping out the leader. So that would be my recommendation there. Okay, and Laurie Hunter, I missed Minstrel Eden Beck. You mean I actually miss things? No, I'm just joking. Sorry, I do miss a lot of messages in the chats, so I apologize for that. Let's go in and take a look at your cards right away. Eden Beck. Let me type this out so that I don't make a mistake here. Minstrel Eden Beck. Okay. Minstrel Eden Beck. Is that not correct? Let me try that again. Minstrel Eden Beck. So I can't find you, Laurie Hunter. I don't believe I've misspelled it. I spelled it exactly as you've listed here. And so there might be a spelling. If there's a misspelling, please let me know so I can get back to your deck. So I'll try one more time. Although I doubt I can make anything different happen. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for your response to let me know what your in-game name is. Otherwise, you can always reach out to me on the network app, and you can just kind of give me your deck idea or your deck in images, and I can take a look. And actually, I just saw I Am Chief. Okay, I will go ahead and take a look at you. So Jeffrey Lee, I Am Chief. I'm curious if you play Halo. So purple team, that is a good commander team. But let's take a look at the Slayer team. So I mentioned before, Slayers can actually do really well in commander events, whereas commander cards typically don't do quite as well in Slayer events, just because they lose out on the Slayer bonus there. So I'm assuming you're looking at the new team. You got a 2 pink star team, and so I think you should have no problem. And you have also the ultimate form for Furious Goblin Jockey, and I think this card will create 6 Power Gem 2s and also Power Gem 4s there. So the timing, obviously, if you want to take advantage of that, would be to wait for your jockey to spawn everything, and then you can activate all of the rest of your cards there. I will just, for the sake of completeness, take a look at your other cards here. But if you've got a really, really strong deck, this is sort of, just let me know what help I can provide you, because I don't know I can actually do much more than what you already are doing for yourself, since the deck itself is super strong. The only thing that I would think about is whether or not adding a satyr actually helps. So it's not going to be stronger than the jockey, just because the jockey actually, can create more, but it's slower. So jockey will be you need to wait until turn 3. And I actually don't use the ultra rare card very much. So to be honest, like when I have the full deck, for the Bio Blitzer deck, I find myself not using the ultra rare card very much at all. And so if you wanted to give this a try, I would actually replace the ultra rare card with Satyr. And by doing that, you're going to have more power gems that can overwrite each other, and also, can actually, you can actually increase your damage, and you can get more. You can get more damage faster with the, otherwise with the Furious Goblin Jockey, you're going to basically use the battle skill to get your 6 power gem 2s and not wait for the turn where you get hit. If you're looking for speed, don't wait for the trap to actually get activated. Just activate the battle skill and then use it as is. So that's 6 power gem 2s. Whereas if you replace your ultra rare card with Satyr, that's an additional 12 power gem ones that you can put with the deck. You're going to get pretty good damage out of that. I think you will actually get more benefit than the damage boost that you get from the ultra rare, right? So let's go Ministrel. So I see you got, I misspelt it, so it was an E, not an A. So let's see if this will work now. Okay, nope. And let's Minstrel. Okay, not Ministrel. Beck Eden. Oh man. Okay. That was quite an adventure trying to get to you. There you go. All right, so we got it. And so let's take a look and see what you got here. Now we're also pretty much at time here. It's 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, and I generally try not to keep my stream too long. So this is probably going to be my last one here. And I'm sorry for anybody who's just joining right now, and I'm not going to be able to get to you. But definitely reach out to me afterwards if you need some help, and then I will try and help you as much as I can. So let's take a look and see what you got, and we will see where we can go from there. So this will be the last one here, and I'm going to take a look at your collection, and we will see. We'll start with Earth Slayers, I think. So I see Diona and Agaricus, Rudolph, and we've got Hunting Rabadilla, and you've also got Reforged Beauty. So Reforged Beauty, what does she do again? So she'll spawn 5 gems, and it has a 3-turn cooldown. Not too bad as a support card and also a Gen 3 card. So you've got Satyr of Root, so you definitely want to try and take advantage of that. If possible, you just need a card that can create Power Gen 4s. So let's see if we've got that from your commander deck. And you've got Skyswarm Kachina. So yes, that's the card that you should be putting into your deck. So put Skyswarm in there. And then the cards that you want to put around Skyswarm would be, let's go back to your Earth Slayer deck. So we start with Skyswarm Kachina, put in Satyr in there, and then you should round it out with Rudolph, Hunting Rabadillo, and I guess I would put in Reforged Beauty just because Agaricus doesn't really create a power gem either. It's one of the I did not like that deck at all. Okay, and so put Rudolph, Hunting Rabadillo, and Reforged Beauty, Satyr, as well as Skyswarm Kachina. If you wanted to, you could also use other cards in here that so you can have a choice. You could also put in the Jinjombre to get that Gemfall if you wanted to do some more there, or Kokopelli for additional gems. But I think with the setup that I just mentioned, you should have no problem. Order of activation is going to be Skyswarm Kachina, followed by Satyr, and then your other support cards. Okay? And so let's see. Jim Paulson, let's see. Tried your suggestion, and the damage was doubled. So great. That's what I was hoping for. So glad that you tried it out and it worked out for you. And so I think this is going to be it for me in terms of going to the people's decks in here. But I do want to just spend a few more minutes, take a look at the chat here, and see what's going on here. And let's see. So Debbie Moss used Camelot deck to take out 1 and 2 ultimate. Hey, that's great. And Gabor Pinter, Serve Carly. Yeah, sorry, I think I'm done for the day. So just reach out to me afterwards, or maybe we can talk again. And hopefully the ideas I've given other people has been helpful as well. And so Willie Brunner, welcome. And Tamara Figura tried a suggestion and got the needed gem boost. Great. So that's kind of sort of the reason why I do this. I think for the most part what I see is you guys are actually doing a pretty good job with the decks. Like I see some really good ideas and some really good builds out there. And I think that just tweaking a little bit to optimize is sort of the goal here. So I'm glad that it's all working out. And again, so if the help if the help I gave actually worked for you, feel free to just kind of put in a comment below. Like I said, I read those comments, and sometimes I go back and I refer to like, what was the recommendation I gave again, and what did I do to help you out, and kind of put that down in the comment below so that I can go back and refer to it, and that way I can also just remember for next time. And so, Noel Pisani, I just saw your message here. Thanks for watching the stream, and thanks for joining me here. And so that's going to be it for today. And again, this is my second time doing a live video stream. Let me know if you if you have any recommendations, suggestions. I actually got a really good suggestion just from the last time, where like, hey, maybe put the teams I'm using on a rotational basis, using the left 1/3 of the screen for some additional things. So I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna continue to play around a little bit, and so just let me know, and we'll see how I can improve from here. So again, thanks very much for joining me on the stream here, guys. I'm going to sign off for the day. And I will catch you in the next stream, and maybe I'll have some videos out beforehand. We'll see what happens. And just a quick public service announcement before I go. It is Mother's Day this Sunday, and so for those of you who are able to celebrate it, I just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to all of you, for those of you who are mothers, and we will see you next time. All right, take care, guys. I will see you in the next stream.